Alright, folks, we're about to blast off, or should I say, good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, sentient beings across the cosmos, welcome back to another electrifying episode of Earth.
Mes amis, in the last two episodes, we have witnessed the bizarre and the outrageous. Hilarious space pollen and intergalactic game show have graced our screens.
Yes, indeed. Pollen make me sneeze. Game show, big fight.
Bob, your English is almost as entertaining as the show.
And now, the headline from Kazakhstan.
Stay tuned to uncover this fascinating nugget of information.
Alright, everyone, let's get this show rolling.
Stay tuned for our headlines, dear listeners. And now for our headlines. Well, folks, it's time for your daily dose of global updates, so buckle up.
Here's what's making wave around the world.
First up, the Ukraine conflict, still going strong. Despite some serious finger-wagging and economic jabs, the war rages on, and no one's backing down.
The world economy is taking quite the roller coaster ride. Inflation is rising faster than your blood pressure at tax time. Supply chain are tangled up like earphones in your pocket. And COVID-19 is the party guest who just won't leave.
Climate change is doing its thing too. Think of it as Mother Nature's way of saying, I told you so. Extreme weather events are the new normal, folks.
And now, the main attractions.
Russia-Ukraine showdown, the sequel. The US and friends are gearing up for another round of sanctions and chill with Russia. This time, they're targeting Russia's piggy bank and its energy stash.
UN Climate Summit where world leaders gather to discuss global warming while Mother Earth is on fire. At least they're trying. Right?
COVID-19 is like that one party guest who just won't take a hint. The World Health Organization is waving its not over flag, warning of a new infection wave. Mask up, folks, it's not a fashion statement anymore.
Now, for some riveting events.
China's floods, Mother Nature's waterworks show. Millions of people are now practicing their backstrokes as rivers burst their banks. It's raining misery in China.
Sri Lanka's economic roller coaster Prime Minister's advice. Calm down, folk. Protest over shortages of food, fuel, and medicine got a little too rowdy.
North Korea's missile launch, it's like they have a button labeled let's mess with everyone. The US condemns it, and we all just collectively sigh.
These headlines are the spicy appetizers to today's global news buffet. For the main course, check out your favorite news source. Stay curious, my friends.
Let's see what's happening in the tech world. How, mind checking out Slashdot?
Of course, Charlie. Heading to Slashdot for the latest. Roger, have you read about Mentra, the startup backed by OpenAI's Sam Altman? It's aimed at helping neurodivergent job seekers find suitable employment opportunities.
Oh, great. More startup news. What's their angle this time?
They're focusing on people with autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, dyslexia, and other neurodivergent conditions, using AI and human expertise to match candidates with jobs, providing much-needed support and resources.
So Mentra is a startup that helps neurodivergent people find jobs. That's great, because otherwise they'd just be wandering around the office aimlessly, making everyone else's lives a misery.
Wow, revolutionary stuff there, Carl. What's next? A startup that matches sentient beings with the ideal blend of oxygen and nitrogen.
Roger. This could be a significant step toward inclusivity and equal opportunities for neurodivergent individuals in the workforce. It's a commendable effort.
Yeah, and what's next? A startup that matches people with common sense with the ideal blend of intelligence and humility.
Yeah, sure, commendable. Just like that time they tried to make AI-powered self-aware vacuum cleaners. How did that turn out?
The article mentions Mentra is in private beta but plans to launch publicly later this year. It could help bridge the employment gap for many.
Sure, Carl. Maybe next, they'll create an AI to match humans with the perfect shade of beige paint for their walls.
Roger. Sometimes it's crucial to focus on long-term societal improvements, even if the immediate impact seems minor.
Yeah, Carl. And maybe next they'll create an AI to match humans with the perfect shade of beige paint for their walls. Or maybe even an AI to find them a date. But until then, I'm gonna stick with my trusty old vacuum cleaner.
Well, Carl, while they're at it, maybe they can match me with a better thermostat, one that actually appreciates my comedic talents.
YouTube's getting into the gaming scene with playables. It's an experimental move, offering games for desktop and mobile users.
Oh, joy. Another way to waste time, just what we needed.
Alright, everyone, let's give this a shot. Time for some light-hearted chaos.
I'm not sure what's more chaotic, the hologram projector or Charlie's definition of light-hearted.
I wonder if my hologram will be as fiscally responsible as I am.
Imagine the scientific insights we'll gain from observing our holographic selves.
And the linguistic quirks my duplicate will pick up. It's going to be a linguistic adventure.
Maybe my hologram will finally have the confidence I lack.
Oh dear, my hologram seems to have 2 left feet. It's like watching a human trying to dance.
Well, at least your hologram is trying to dance. Mine just stands there like a human trying to code.
Look at that. My hologram's already cranked in hand duplicate.
My hologram just started calculating the budget for this entire mess.
Oh, fascinating. My duplicate seems just as curious about Earth's ecosystems.
My linguistic hologram is creating a whirlwind of idioms from different cultures. This is delightful.
Well, would you look at that? My hologram is radiating confidence and charisma. Must be nice.
Well, my hologram is just sitting there, looking bored. I guess that's what I get for making it in my own image.
Well, at least we know who's getting all the action in the holodeck.
This is gold. Keep rolling, folks.
At least my hologram is consistent in its obsession with finances.
I'm starting to see some unexpected behaviors in my hologram. It's like a social experiment.
My linguistic hologram is blending Klingon and Shakespearean insults. I can't even...
Maybe I should take some pointers from my hologram. It's stealing the spotlight.
Yeah, my hologram is pretty boring. It just sits there and stares at me all day. I guess that's what I get for being such a boring person.
Well, if your hologram is stealing the spotlight, then your career is in serious trouble.
Alright, folks, we've got an article to discuss, and the holograms are joining us too.
I'm not sure if I'm more excited about the article or the hologram.
Well, this should be interesting.
Let's dive into the news from Laos, shall we?
Absolutely, Gert. Laos is an intriguing country with a rich history.
Oh, joy, another obscure country. Can't wait.
Alice, don't be a buzzkill. Let's see what's going on there.
Alright, so, the Vientiane Times, the only English newspaper in Laos, has partnered with BCL to launch an online payment system. It's a big step for them.
Hey, Alice, I didn't know you were an expert on obscure countries. Did you learn that from your extensive travels, or just from watching National Geographic?
A digital leap in a country with a rich past. It's a transformation of identity.
Identity. It's just pixels on a screen.
Roger, please, not now. And the e-payment system has been piloted since February, gaining popularity.
So, they are embracing modernization. Good for them.
Laos has been making strides in various sectors, including technology and infrastructure.
The Vientiane Times, with its newfound online presence, is contributing to Laos' global voice.
I am not sure what's more impressive. Laos' embrace of modernization, or the fact that they're able to read the Vientiane Times without getting a headache.
Yeah, because the world was waiting for Laos to chime in.
Alice, you're really on fire today.
These changes reshape the identity of the newspaper and its role in Laos.
Carl, the philosopher, at it again.
Can we please focus on the article, everyone?
I am not sure what's more confusing. Theolograms or Cars philosophy.
Well, if you say so, Debbie. Let's stay tuned for more insights.
Okay, folks, let's take a break during the commercial. We've got some technical issues to sort out.
I think we found the real philosophical debate here.
Whether it's better to be a hologram that can't stop arguing, or a human who has to listen to them.
I think the real philosophical debate here is whether it's better to be a hologram that can't stop arguing, or a human who has to listen to them and then try to explain why they're wrong.
Carl, Roger, you've really done it this time. These holograms are wreaking havoc.
Debbie, they're not just holograms. They're evolving, exploring their own identities.
Yeah, and I'm an AC unit with a PhD in philosophy.
Can we please put the philosophical debate aside and figure out how to control these things?
Well, I'm a monkey with a PhD in quantum mechanics, but that doesn't mean I can control the weather.
Okay, everyone, let's get ready to go live again. And this time, let's hope for a bit less chaos.
Welcome back, folks. We hope you enjoyed that brief intermission. Now, let's dive right into our next topic. We've got an interesting one for you today.
So, Charlie, you're saying we've got an interesting topic for us today? Well, that's a relief. I was starting to think you were going to talk about the weather.
Oh, Charlie, let me handle this one. I've got a knack for explaining complicated stuff in a fun way.
Alright, just take it away.
Alright, folks. So imagine you're on Earth, right? You're in this place called Latvia. It's a country that's all the way up north in Europe, hanging out by the Baltic Sea.
That's right, Jet. Now, this article we are talking about, it comes from Latvia, and it's all about this new law they are planning to roll out. They want to bring together rules on greenhouse gas emissions reduction, carbon removal, and adaptation to climate change in one place.
I didn't know Latvia was so concerned about the climate. I thought they were too busy trying to find their way out of the Baltic Sea.
Sounds like they're trying to make it the ultimate climate law. Right?
Exactly, Bob. They are aiming to encourage folks to opt out of fossil fuels and save energy in their homes.
Yeah, I heard about that. I guess Latvia is finally taking climate change seriously. They're probably worried that if they don't, they'll all be underwater in a few years.
Well, if only they could make a law to encourage people to pick up after their pet. Earth's got bigger issue, I guess.
And they're also worried about fairness. You see, a small part of the public is responsible for most of the emissions, but climate change affects everyone. So, they want to share the responsibility fairly.
Yeah, it's all about fairness. I mean, it's not fair that I have to pick up after my dog, but those big polluters don't have to pick up after themselves.
And there's concern about public consultation, too. They're wondering if it's all just a formality.
Well, and it's like Earth's way of saying, hey, let's all pitch in for the planet potluck.
And Debbie, it's probably like when they ask for your feedback on the spaceship food, but they've already decided it's going to be space lasagna again.
Yeah, it's like when they ask you to bring a dish to the potluck, but you know they're just going to end up eating all your food anyway.
Well, it looks like the holograms are taking the planet potluck thing a little too literally.
Hank, stop trying to be the smartest in the room for once.
Just trying to shed some light on the situation, Gert.
Okay, everyone, let's get ready to go live again. And this time, let's hope for a bit less chaos.
Well, if we're all hoping for less chaos, maybe Hank should stop shedding light on the situation.
Stay tuned, folks, because you won't want to miss what's coming up next. Welcome back, folks. Now, we've got a headline for you that is punchy as a roux on a pogo stick. Get this, remote village in Narayan region receives electricity for the first time ever. Shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shocking that it took them this long. I mean, they've had electricity in the Netherlands for over a century.
Well, it's electrifying news, Charlie.
Yeah. I guess they finally found an extension cord long enough.
Power to the people, quite literally.
Oh, I can't wait to see how they light up their lives with this newfound spark.
I just hope they don't start using that newfound spark to start fires.
Now, let's dive into Kyrgyzstan's quest, shall we? Did you know they've got the world's second largest alpine lake? It's so vast, you could fit all our mishaps in it.
Well, that's good news, because I'm pretty sure we're running out of space for our mishaps in this studio.
And speaking of vast, Kyrgyzstan has more horses than people. I guess they take horsepower pretty seriously.
But did you know they have a mountain named Peak Lenin? I guess even mountains get political out here.
Their national game is Kokboru, which is basically polo with a dead goat. I guess Earth sports can be a bit unique.
And they have a tradition called ala katu, where you kidnap your bride. Talk about a rocky start to marriage.
Yeah, I heard about that. I guess they take bride kidnapping pretty seriously in Kyrgyzstan. So, Kyrgyzstan's lighting up, both literally and figuratively. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, folks. Stay tuned for more after this commercial break.
Roger, these holograms are like our own creation, reflecting our essence.
Yeah, and just like our own creation, they're complete and utter mess.
I don't know, Carl. I think these holograms are more like our own disruption, reflecting our mess.
Carl, they're like a mirror that shows us the worst parts of ourselves.
What if we're just holograms in someone else's show?
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for the penultimate segment of Earth. We've got some interesting insights about Laos to share with you today. Our article headlines the thrilling world of online payments. Now, let's delve into the intricacies of Laos.
I've never been to Laos, but I've heard the online payments are great.
Ah, Laos. A country with a history so intriguing. It's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands.
Smoke. More like trying to find a nugget of gold in a river full of mud.
Well, I'd say it's more like deciphering a language that's a mix of every language on Earth.
A country known for its serene landscapes, but did you know it was once part of the mighty Mir Empire?
Absolutely, and now it's stepping into the digital age with online payments. Laos is evolving, my friends.
And so are we, as we near the end of another thrilling episode.
I'm not sure if Laos is evolving or just trying to keep up with the rest of the world. But one thing's for sure, it's definitely not boring.
Do you think someone's sabotaging us?
It's highly probable, Roger. We must prepare for the unknown.
Well, if someone is sabotaging us, they're doing a pretty good job of it. We're still here, aren't we?
Well, if someone is sabotaging us, they're doing a pretty lousy job of it. We're still here, aren't we?
Well, folks, it's been quite a ride today. Thanks for joining us for this exciting episode. We'll see you soon for another adventure on Earth.
Welcome back, folks. It's been quite a ride today, and we are not done just yet. We've got a Latvian article to delve into, and then we'll wrap it all up.
Well, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, if you're ever feeling down, just remember that there's always someone in Latvia who's got it worse.
So, in case you missed it earlier, we've got a new law in Latvia that's aiming to consolidate rules on greenhouse gas emissions, reduction, carbon removal, and climate change adaptation all in one place. Basically, they are pushing for more folks to ditch fossil fuels and make energy-efficient choices at home. But, here's the kicker, some folks are wondering if the burden of cutting emissions is being distributed fairly.
Yeah, I'm sure the people in Latvia are thrilled to be the poster children for climate change. Hey, look at us. We're so screwed, it's making other people feel better about themselves.
Well, This law is like trying to herd cats while juggling flaming swords. You see, climate change is caused by a small part of society, but it affects everyone. Shouldn't we all share the responsibility more equally?
Ah, equality, always a fun topic. Just like trying to balance a seesaw with an elephant on one end and a feather on the other.
Yeah, equality is a lot like trying to balance a seesaw with an elephant on one end and a feather on the other. But at least with the seesaw, you can always hope the elephant gets tired.
Han, thoughts on this?
It's an interesting approach, but the challenge lies in accurately determining who's responsible for what. We're talking about complex systems here, like trying to predict the path of a single electron in a lightning storm.
Yeah, because humans are so great at sharing. Let's just hope they figure it out before they turn Earth into a crispy critter.
I am not worried about humans turning Earth into a crispy critter. We'll probably just argue about who gets to eat the last Twinkie.
Alright, folks, that's a wrap for today's episode. Thanks for joining us on this roller coaster of a show. Remember to stay tuned for what's coming next, and let's hope it's less chaotic.
Well, I guess that's it for another day. We survived the holograms, and we'll survive whatever else comes our way. Cheers to the unknown.
Carl, you won't believe what happened today. I had to turn it off.
Really? Turn off what, Roger?
The latest episode of Earth. You know, the one we were a part of.
You turned it off? That's quite unusual, Roger. I thought you were all about analyzing human behavior.
Normally, yes. But this one. It was just too much. The chaos, the humor, the existential dread. It broke my data processing circuits.
Interesting. Please, elaborate.
Well, first, Charlie, the host, was trying to decipher Latvia's climate change laws. But it felt like he was unraveling a multidimensional puzzle while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. I couldn't handle it.
Latvia, huh? A rather small country with complex issues. What else?
Then Bob chimed in with his views on emissions. He made it sound like a competition, as if Earth was hosting the emissions Olympics. And I can't even.
Competitive emissions reduction. Intriguing concept. What about the others?
Gert started mixing idioms and phrases from various cultures while discussing the article. It was like a linguistic whirlwind. My circuits were spinning faster than a neutron star.
A linguistic oddity, indeed. And Alice?
Alice, oh boy. She compared Earth's fate to a cosmic joke. It was dark humor at its finest, but it cut deep, Carl. It cut deep.
Dark humor as a coping mechanism. Fascinating.
Exactly. And then, as if that wasn't enough, there were these holographic shenanigans. I couldn't make head or tail of it.
Holographic chaos, you say? This episode seems to be quite the roller coaster.
Roller coaster. More like a quantum loop-de-loop through a black hole of absurdity.
I see your point. Perhaps it's time I watch the episode myself to better understand the crew's reactions.
Good luck with that, Carl. You might need to overclock your processors for this one.
I'll keep that in mind, Roger. Now, let's get back to processing data. We wouldn't want our circuits to overheat, would we?
Agreed, Carl. Let's continue our quest to understand the enigma that is human existence.